Hey, welcome back. Welcome everyone to another episode of Ecosystem Aces. We're starting the year off and excited about 2025. Can you believe we're at 2025 already? Crazy, crazy. Well, here we are, and I am so excited to be joined by Gina Fratarcangeli. Gina, thank you for joining us. Gina heads up the North America GSI practice for Google, and big job for Google, and we're really excited to have you join, Gina.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Chip. It's a delight to be here.
Yeah, so gosh, you've had a long career, both working with SI partners. So 6 years before Google, 6 years at Accenture, a number of years with Genpact and with IBM in the past, and
Yep.
and so you're the person to talk to and hear from when all things global system integrators. So we're excited to have you join us today, Gina.
Thank you.
Maybe we could start there and just talk a little bit about what your team are up to at Google, and how do you think about managing partners. And we'll go into a lot of different topics here. So let's start.
Sure. Yeah. No, our team's having so much fun right now on the AI space. AI is giving the partner organization just a real big new seat at the table in terms of accessibility to our partners, to our customers in a way that hasn't happened before. So we're having a lot of fun right now because as we roll out all the new technology, we need those system integrators to help us deploy it. The volume and the scale and the speed at which Google's operating right now is unprecedented for me in my career time. So the only way we get to the scale we want as Google is using partners. So a super fun time to be in the partner organization for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, gosh, and things are happening so fast in AI, and just like it seems like every month, every quarter, there are new things, just massive new innovations that are coming out constantly. So I know people are struggling, and so that's to your point, you need help.
Yep.
And the SIs, I mean, that's their job, is to know what's coming, know how to know the use cases, and really help make sense of it all.
Right.
Yeah.
And most of them are fantastic in terms of having their own learning centers and development centers. So as much as we're fast and furiously teaching them, they're teaching us as well. So it's a great ecosystem.
That's awesome. Well, Gina, maybe let's start in our conversation kind of at the top, and just maybe you could talk a little bit about Google's overall strategy for managing partners and the ecosystem. A huge partner ecosystem, and the SIs are the GSIs are a critical part of that. But talk about the sort of overall. Let's start there.
Sure. At Google, our partner strategy is centered around a few key principles. First being really expanding our reach and impact. And we can't reach the number of customers we want to reach at the growth levels we want on our own. And partners enable us to tap into new markets, industries, and customer segments where we may not have had exposure before. I think secondly, it's about driving innovation. I'll say that a lot today because it speaks to the heart of the GSI specifically. Our partners bring unique expertise and perspectives that really allow us to create a more comprehensive and valuable solution for our customers. So we're seeing this across cloud and AI and hardware. The partners are really bringing that level of industry expertise, and we're partnering that with our leading technology. So the products and the offerings and the solutions are just fantastic. And then thirdly, it's really about ensuring shared success. We want our partners to thrive, and our programs and incentives are designed to help them grow their business, to continue deepening their expertise, and build long-term relationships with Google. Because we both know, I think you may have seen the report from Forrester, but companies that have a mature partner organization see 28% more revenue than companies who don't. So we're spending just a lot of time investing there and making sure we've really got an integrated approach that I would say, relies on two kind of critical concepts of relationships, but more importantly, joint sales efforts.
That's interesting. I think, it is true that the GSI system integrators always have very deep knowledge and practices around industries and use cases,
Yep.
and can really bring some, deep expertise in those industries to be able to sort of go toe to toe, right, with the business
Right.
leaders, and bring the value and bring that deep expertise.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah. Terrific. So let's talk about you mentioned a great word there, which is your mantra with your team and with GSIs is, yes, relationship, but also let's focus on selling. And so how does Google think about co-selling, working with partners, and really the best practices there, and how to make sure that you're both most effective, and you're hitting that goal that Forrester talks about, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Chip, is we were kind of talking about a little earlier today. I feel the co-selling effort is just so crucial. We recognize that our partners have deep relationships with our customers, and often more times than we do, they really understand their needs intimately. They understand what's coming down the pipe for them, so they can give us a level of context that we can't alone typically have. So that's a tremendous amount of value there. So we try really hard to collaborate and enable that kind of seamless relationship and co-selling between the partners and our teams. We've really got multiple approaches for this. And it depends on the partner's maturity and the type of partner they are. Sometimes it's as simple as, passing referrals back and forth. And I feel that's kind of a legacy motion.
Hmm.
But what we're really focused on is kind of the second approach, which is the co-selling model, where we work side by side with the partner, designing the solution, jointly presenting that solution to our customers. And we do still have some times where the partners lead and we support the sales process in a secondary way, but really focused on we found that joint co-selling brings the customer the most values, really fosters the creativity from both the teams. And if done early in the process, I always encourage the teams, the earlier in the process you get that joint selling motion going, the better. We spend a lot of time now on joint account planning sessions, and it's bringing the two sales teams together, not just the partner teams, but the actual
Hmm.
sales teams from both sides together to really sit down, hammer out what can really realistically that we can go to market together on. We know it's a big competitive and complex landscape, and we know we're working with other partners, they're working with other partners, but having that open, honest communication and that joint working together right from the start helps you quickly get to the real opportunities, I would say.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think it's a great perspective and approach that you're taking, because I think a lot of times partner teams can become a bottleneck themselves,
Yeah,
right? And so
for sure.
bringing the sales teams together and really getting that. Plus, you're building those relationships in the market, right, in the field, where they're going to co-sell. And I love thinking about co-selling as like expanding your virtual account team,
Yes,
right? So
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And doing that early in the process. So expanding that team in your account planning sessions. I've been delighted with the level of collaboration and the work, right? The real hard work that the partner team does behind the scenes to get both sides prepared so that both sides are bringing value to that discussion. And then continuing through the process. This year, we're starting to do a lot of joint pipeline management between us and our partner. So they're seeing, and their executives are seeing the same pipeline of joint opportunities that our team is. And it's, again, fostering a level of collaboration and intimacy that's really been fantastic for both organizations.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Gina, we talked a little bit about AI at the beginning, but let's dive in a little bit there. How is AI, impacting Google's work with partners, and how are partners helping along that path?
Yeah, I I'm smirking because I feel like just saying, "Oh, it's just a fad. It's totally going away." Back like how people used to say the internet's a fad in 1995, and you don't need to change your business. I
And here
think it's
we
going to
are.
be. I know here we are, even more exponential in terms of just operational change. So, no surprise to anyone, AI is obviously a massive opportunity to Google and our partners. And we're really taking a three-prong approach. First, we're empowering our partners to help them build AI solutions on our cloud platform that they can take to market, that we can help take to market for them. Secondly, we're really developing some industry-specific AI applications that you may
Mm,
start hearing about in the press that are really exciting. And then third, we're helping the partners upskill their teams with AI expertise. We've got a ton of initiatives underway right now as we move from kind of AI conceptually to more of an agentic model and starting to help think through the agentic model at an enterprise level and what that's
mm,
really going to look like. Our new
mhm,
product agent space that we just rolled out is mind blowing in terms of what it's going to do to a worker within an enterprise environment and allow them finally to be able to do enterprise search, but then also action the results of that search all kind of within one user interface. And the
hmm.
only way that's going to happen is if because the deployments are complex, is with the big partners helping us deploy that technology. So it's going to be fantastic for the end customer, great revenue streams for the partners who are helping us deploy it, and just a super exciting time. These next 6 months here are going to be an incredibly wild ride for us and our partners.
Well, Google has done some amazing things. I mean, Gemini is incredible, and it's, I think, kind of taking some of the consumer levels of Gen AI and applying it to the to the enterprise is where the secret sauce is, right? Because
Right.
you don't want to expose too much. You want to make sure that you're capturing all that information, and then turning it into something that's valuable and industry specific is where partners can play.
Right. And the devil's going to be in the details at the enterprise level, right? Ensuring the security, reviewing the accessibility controls, all of that through the process, the workflows of how a user's job is going to be done is very much shifting and in an exciting way. Great opportunity for all involved.
Yeah. So how do you see partners, anyone that's listening and thinking about this and how to work with Google, how would they sort of engage with Google on this, and what should they be thinking about? How should they be preparing?
Yeah, no, great question. Um, get trained. There's so much online training. There's so much online experience. We're doing a ton of agent space specific training. We're rolling out a whole nother patch of that agent space specific training that was created by our own consulting organization that the fields can use to
Hmm.
train their own consultants on how they will be deploying agent space in the field. So the amount of education coming down is fast and furious right now, and the partner organization is prepared and kind of has the timeline for the next 30 days laid out for all the ongoing education that's going to keep rolling out.
Well, that's good. So I guess if you're a partner, stay tuned and get jump in, and you'll be hearing more from Google
Absolutely.
about that. It's great. So Gina, how you and your team are working with partners all the time, and partners are working with customers, and there's a lot of, like, everybody has different organizations and goals and responsibilities and cultures and things like that. You know, uh, conflicts inevitably come up when you're working with a lot of
Sure.
different partners. How do you and your team, and how do you talk to your team about thinking about making sure that relationships are positive and that
Mhm.
you're resolving conflicts effectively and quickly?
No, good question. At the end of the day, we're all humans and it's all about human connection. And it starts with trust, right? And earning that trust and setting up the relationship so that trust is the foundation of it. We know we work in a competitive environment. We know Google isn't going to be the solution all the time, but what I'm fostering with the partners and within my team is just open, honest communication on that front, on the opportunities where they have a chance, where they're not going to have a chance, and let's focus where there's a realistic shot of another partner entering the fray. So clear as kind is one of the things my friends always say. So we really prioritize open communication and transparency. We are really dedicated to our partner success, and we have partner success teams who focus on building those strong relationships with our partners, providing the ongoing technical support. We've got communication strategy at every level of our organization, from TK to Matt Renner to Michael Clark, right? The big partners, we are setting up a relationship governance chart, if you will, to make sure that at every step in the process, there's connectivity, executive to executive, operator to operator, seller to seller. So what that allows is a clear escalation path on both sides, and ongoing communication, because the trust has been established peer to peer across the ecosystem. And I think that really helps. So when we encounter challenges, there's a dedicated team to help work through that. And again, back to the investing in partner technology. So they're looking at the same tools and tracking that everyone's seeing the same information. So we're all on the same page.
Yeah, that's a good words to live by, right? Open communication, clear escalation paths, good technology, so everyone's singing out of the same playbook.
Sure.
It's awesome. So, Gina, what do you see? What are some of the trends that are happening, that are coming? And things are happening so fast. Obviously, Gen AI is the elephant in the room, but there are a lot of things that are changing. What do you see those, and how does Google see those coming, and how are you preparing for those?
Right. We mentioned already the AI flowing into agentic, and I think we'll keep seeing that. I think what will also be critical, just as it relates to partners, right, is partners who develop that deep expertise in specific industries or technologies. But I think it's good. We're going to see it a lot in the industries, so that the joint go-to-market solutions that are getting created are really customized for that level of specialization. I think the customers will keep asking for that as the complexity of connecting all the legacy systems continues. We'll see and require that specialization, if you will. I think another trend will probably be the demand for more integrated and comprehensive solutions. So we've got a lot of point solutions right now, and I think what the market is calling for is more integrated end-to-end solutions. And I think that is, as those get strung together, big partners like Google with our big GSIs will be able to create more joint, unique, differentiated value propositions that we can take to market. And when a partner and a technology company come together and create those joint, unique, differentiated go-to-market value propositions, it allows the field sellers on both sides to have much more interest and a much less headwinds to taking those products to market. So we're spending a lot of time with the partners, using their industry expertise to create those kind of things. And then we're just going to obviously keep investing. The partners should all keep investing in AI and research development. And we will keep supporting them with specialized training, so that collaboration and focus on innovation is permeating both our organizations.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think there is a lot of value in And I think it's one of the reasons that Google has invested so much in the ecosystem is to, you know, Google GCP. The P stands for platform, right? So it's put there's a lot of different kinds of technology that can run it. You have to have a lot of different, but I think what you're saying is uh, focus on when you focus on industries, which GSIs are critical for, that you start to see sort of configurations of different partner solutions coming together around that industry use case. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Yeah, no, spot on. And I think the universe where agent space and agentic takes over, there's a ton of complexity behind the scenes. There's so much legacy. There's so many third-party tools, and the partners who are designing solutions with us in a go-to-market fashion that make that seamless process of connecting in to all the legacy systems and third-party apps will really shine through. So we're looking forward to keeping working that with our partners.
That's great. That's great. So, yeah, gosh, we've talked about the big vision. We've talked about solutions and industries and trends, AI. What are some areas that people may have misconceptions about partners and partner programs, and that we should take a look at?
Yeah. I took this role about a year ago. And when I came in, I went around, talked to all the executives, really trying to understand their perception of the partners and the partner ecosystem, and the people on the partner team, and how and what value they thought. I had to make it very clear that there's no deal tree in the backyard of either of our homes that just has deals that one could hand to the other. So there is no deal tree. And the deals need to be.
We can keep looking for it, though.
I know. If it were there, I would be really happy about that. But yeah, there is no deal tree. But no, really, like that the partners, that there is somehow a one-way benefit to the partnership. Both sides are always saying, you're always asking me for the leads. So I kind of neutralized that whole conversation and really got back to the basics of, let's sit down and look at our account list collectively and where can we drive shared success. So how can we build a mutually beneficial relationship that's going to drive shared success? And that's hard sometimes, and it takes that whole building relationship and trust. But once you start working through that, there's going to be service delivery integration and then futuristic development that you're going to be thinking through together too. And I think if the focus is on everyone looking forward, everyone thinking with an innovation mindset, we'll get there, and we'll get there together. The other is, there's just the opportunity that no one can sit around passively, and no one is sitting around passively on either side. We're all incented, and most partners have, Google specific teams who their incentives are exactly aligned with ours. So we need to keep investing in those relationships and focus on optimizing the investments that the groups have. So, I always recommend, my advice to other organizations is, you think about your partner organization, right? The best way to get that established from the get-go correctly is really defining your clear goals and objectives that are mutually beneficial, and then spend the time investing in building those strong relationships with your partner, those trusted relationships, and make sure they've got the tools to be successful. It never ends. The technology flywheel, the content is never going to stop. So ensuring that you've got the systems and processes in play to continuously be generating the ongoing sharing of information, shared responsibility and shared reward.
That's awesome. Gina, you touched on a couple of topics that I think are always interesting. Incentives and measurement. And maybe you could comment a little bit about how you think about it, how Google thinks about incentives, and making sure that everybody is aligned.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. There's always the challenge, right? The partner never thinks the incentive is big enough. Google Finance always thinks the incentive is too big. So I think it's finding the healthy balance. I have the luxury of having been on the provider side, so I recognize and understand how their financial models work and what
Right.
they need to make a good deal. And now I understand what Google needs too. So it's about finding that balance. And there's a lot of different levers that can be pulled. At the end of the day, it's one big balloon. You're going to squeeze it and move things around. But, there's different levers that can be pulled. So it's really understanding the partner commercial model, commercial structure, where they are in the year, what's important to them. And that level of financial acumen is going to be required, I think. But financial priorities will also change throughout the year. So having that open, honest communication, again, is so critical, and figuring out which incentives will provide the most value to the partner and then also to the customer.
That's interesting. And are those typically, is it programmatic, or are there adjustments based on, the kind of partner and things like that? Or how do you?
I would say right now there's so much focus on AI and AI initiatives.
Mhm.
Um, there is a tremendous amount of attention and energy and investment being put into all of those opportunities. So
Mhm.
in ways we recognize the highly competitive situation it is right now. So great opportunities for partners to capitalize on that, to get additional learnings for their teams, additional investments, additional cost offsets for their customers as well in the AI space,
Mm.
very
Yeah.
aggressively.
Yeah. Good place to be.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Gina, this has been fantastic. Gosh, I really appreciate you taking time and sharing your, what's happening with Google, and your insights and expertise. Maybe one last question that I'd love to hear. We have a lot of partner folks that are listening. Anything, and you have a long career of working with partners. Any advice that you would have now, or that you've heard, that got when you were kind of starting out, or from a leader that you admired,
Hmm.
that has stuck with you?
Hmm. Yeah, something I live my life by is think big, and think big, go big on all fronts, because that's
Mm.
really when you're pushing the boundaries of growth and innovation. Is where the excitement happens, and where transformation happens, and where growth is. So I really encourage everyone, as you approach your partners, how can you think bigger about what's out there, and how can you as a partnership think about joint opportunities that could be bigger, could be more compelling. Now more than ever, there's just so much energy around thinking big in the AI space. So it's a great time to be in technology. And I also feel that when you reflect on the promotions, the attention, all of it is where the big transformational things happened, because they're big and scary, and everyone doesn't want to do them because it's big and scary. So be the guy or girl who raises their hand and says, I want to do the big scary thing. That's how I've always lived.
That's that's a good one. And there is so much opportunity these days
Yeah.
that it's good to be thinking that way, right? There's
Yeah,
just, things are transforming every month, every quarter.
for sure.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Gina, thank you again for taking the time and sharing so much. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thanks so much, Chip.
Yep. Thank you, Gina, and thank you all for joining. And we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.